So tell us your name.
My name is Rose Brown.
Hi, Rose.
Hey.
So we put you through a series of activities and competitions today where you got to experience what it would be like to be disabled.
Yes.
So what were 3 lessons that you learned today while competing in these disabled events?
I would say it's very important to, one, spread awareness more about these disabilities so that there's kind of, I would say, a common understanding of what's going on, and there's no longer that disconnect of we cannot interact with them or we don't engage with them because they look different or they seem different. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all people. We all need to be loved. We all need to be understood and be more empathetic and culturally aware. I don't know if that was probably 8 lessons in one, but that was definitely, I'm going to go with that's more. The inside, it's definitely been a humbling experience. I would say that everyone should go through this if they ever get the chance. Even if they can have their company go through it, organization go through it, family go through it, definitely go through an experience such as this, so you learn more about yourself, you learn more about the community, and you learn more how to care about the people that you don't necessarily know, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about which activity put you out of your comfort zone the most?
Let's see. All of them? No, I would probably say the cerebral palsy station, and that's just because I've never been in a position where I can't even eat or drink, you know, and it's such a simple task, and it's something I now take, I realize I've taken for granted because I've never been in a position such as that. So I would say that that was the most difficult because there was no way. I couldn't even eat, I couldn't drink, and I love food, so that was very impactful, I would say. That's the thing. I do know people with disabilities, but it's more so, I would say, like PTSD, ADHD, but not disabilities from, I would say, from this nature that really physically impact you on a daily basis, and maybe the different actions that you may try to accomplish throughout the day. So I know people.
So Marcel, what's going on here?
So what's going on, this is they do the first half of their painting, being able to fully see and take the instructions and put their shapes in the corners and the placement on their canvas. And then the second half of the painting, they paint on top of it, blindfolded, to have some semblance of what it might be like to paint without having your sight, and to be able to see the difference in the results that they get. And it's also a fun way to kind of appreciate having your ability and not having your ability. How it can still be beautiful.
Mary and Carissa, right? So you guys came to volunteer today. So what was your station that you volunteered for? The Braille station?
Yep.
All right. And what did you guys learn today?
It's hard. It is really hard. Everything was more challenging. I feel like even though technically we call them people with disabilities, they're not, they just do things differently. They're not any less than what we do or how we are. They just have to do things differently than we do. It is a little harder with some of the things that they do, but they still are able to do it.
Yeah, that's to demonstrate the simple task of eating when you have cerebral palsy. So try to eat the M&Ms with a spoon and then take a drink of water.
Okay.
There you go. Try taking a drink of water. So, what would you change if you had cerebral palsy? How would you change that as to eat during
Right.
the day?
So cerebral palsy is
Just that
involuntary muscle movement.
spasms, yeah?
Okay.
So it's just that jerk, you see it in their legs, their muscles, their face, it's all their muscles.
Any muscle.
Yeah. But their minds are brilliant. They're brilliant people. They just can't control their muscle spasms.
Okay. So I'm going to cheat, and no, I saw other people point this out earlier. If you get closer to the food,
Yeah.
then it and use less motion. So if you like that.
Yeah. So my brother had cerebral palsy, and so he would, you know, rest that arm so it wouldn't reflex, and then try to use that wrist to try to and do this more of that shovel. And he wouldn't order things like steaks or anything because it was too hard to cut up and all that. And then for a straw, he would carry, for drinking, he'd carry a pocket full of straws, and he'd put the straw in, and then he'd reach out and grab it with his mouth.
Because this is messy.
Like, jerky.
But then
stuff.
Coming down with the spoon,
Or with a straw, he could reach out and do this. You know, he might have to search around, but he could do it. So, yeah, so he made do. He made adjustments and did fine. So, yeah.
And you were talking earlier about how did people in the community interact with your brother?
Well, it was amazing when, so first of all, when he was born, the doctors told my mom and dad that he was mentally retarded. So this is 60 years ago. And they told him to go put him in the home and, you know, and let him go. Huh? And they refused to believe it. And then my dad said, you know, watch the boy. He could see he was an intelligent boy, and so he took him back to the doctor, and it was only after a series of tests that they finally figured out that, yes, he was very intelligent, but he just had cerebral palsy. And so they brought him up and, you know, did the best they could because there was no help for parents or families to help support a child like that, but he was our family, you know? And then it was interesting watching people. Some people were just afraid of him, didn't know how to react. Other people treated him like he was stupid and kind of connected it to being mentally retarded. And then other people were just kind and generous, and it was just a mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I saw a lot looking at videos is people, a lot of the community think that people with disabilities, you can catch it. It's like a disease, and like, you know, so there's very little physical, you know, maybe I can say personally, like I've had that feeling, like I'm scared that I'm going to offend this person. I'm scared that I don't know how to interact with this person, and so I'm just going to not interact with this person, which is completely wrong.
And I will say the same as his sister. I was 8, 9 years younger. I didn't know how to take some of it, you know. So it was only through becoming an adult and really realizing, you know, that this is just a disability, and this is what he had, and he was still a loving, caring, wonderful man. It took me a while to realize that. So yeah, even his sister who loved him, you know.
Yeah, this has been eye-opening. You know, like, you know, this obviously puts in the, you know, like it's those little activities that you do every day that.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta eat.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that just because you have trouble doesn't mean you need someone living with you the whole time. You come up with ways around it.
Yeah, you do.
And that's your new normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.